SolSpot. Welcome to the SolSpot Collective with your host, Lara Bell.
We are here to dig into all things creative
and urban muse.
Don't forget to be happy. Sometimes we find ourselves so hungry to share our art that we forget about the happiness that we feel when we're in the flow of our art.
SolSpot. This is the SolSpot Collective podcast.
Hello and welcome to SolSpot Collective, episode number two. We're so excited, Lara. Are you excited?
I am very excited.
Why are you excited?
I am so excited about this new segment and our very first guest. Today we will be introducing a new segment entitled Dreamer's Delight. This interview segment is focused on creatives and entrepreneurs who took a dream, designed a plan, and brought it into full fruition. Our first dreamer will be Marc Boyd. Marc is a veteran, he's a community activist, and he is co-owner of multiple nonprofit organizations. The one we want to talk about today is Feed a Starving Artist. I actually met Marc at this event, and I was there to support a friend. And just after watching this event and how amazing it was, it kind of gave me the inspiration that I needed to kind of establish myself as an artist and start my own shows, because I said, hey, these guys are just making it happen for themselves. There's no special rhyme or reason, or they're not, looking for anything extra. They're just making it happen themselves and using the resources that they had. So I was very inspired by them. It's not an accident, Marc, that you are here today as our first guest, because you perfectly represent the collective. So, Marc, welcome to SolSpot Collective.
Welcome.
Well, thank you for the gripping and thrilling intro there, Miss Lara.
So, Marc, tell us a little bit about Feed a Starving Artist and how it got started and what the goal of Feed a Starving Artist is.
Well, basically, Feed a Starving Artist is what pretty much the world's only voter registration open mic. What we do there is we invite artists out to come and perform, and they in turn invite their fan bases out to come and see them perform. So with that, it's free for the artists to perform. The fan bases each patron pays $10 a person to come in. So the first half of the show is called the primary. It's just like a basic, regular open mic. The artists come perform up to two pieces or whatever their genre is. The second half of the show is called the election, and in the election half, artists will perform one time, and the patrons that paid $10 to come see them all vote, and the act that gets the most votes at the end of the show gets $1 per vote cast, basically $1 per person that's there. So with that, we invite local politicians to come out to speak to those same fan bases and to pitch to them. We interview them and we pitch to them as to why they should in turn come and vote for them in the next election.
Yes, tell us about a few of your guests. I mean, you've had Mary Norwood and several Atlanta council member representatives.
Yeah, we've had everybody from school board representatives, Matt Westmoreland, who's now went on to be a council member. We had a school board president, Courtney English, Jason Estevez, who will probably be your next school board member. School board president, Byron Amos, who's also on the school board. We've had council members, Felicia Moore, who's now running for city council president, Alex Wayne, who's also running for city council president, Kwanzaa Hall, he's running for mayor. And we've had people that are regular, people that are not in office, but that are just candidates actually running for office, and candidates like Dustin Hillis, Jason Dozier, who's now in a runoff. So we've had a gambit of municipal election candidates from the top to the bottom.
Yeah, I've been very, very impressed and just happy to see how engaged the candidates have been in Feed a Starving Artist. But tell us a little bit about the steps that you took. What's your passion behind this? Because I know it's a passion, not thoroughly like a passion for music, but it's a passion for informed voting as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's it's a you can also say it's a passion for music because I started out writing music and just being a fan, period, and just when I come to realize that performing just wasn't my thing, and I needed another lane, and leave that to the performance artist.
Hold on, Mark.
Sure.
Do you mean to tell me that there's some mixtapes out there with your?
You ain't gonna catch, you might catch, a little freestyle tape or something. Yeah, you gotta run it by me to make sure it's Cat Daddy approved. There's people out there faking that, biting my old lyrics. But yeah, once upon a day, I did like to write, and I still do write. Just performing is just not my thing. I like to stay in my lane, and so creating the show was a way to be able to not only do that, but to still, like you said, inform people about my other side passion, which was politics in and of itself. So merging the two together and giving the artist a reason to not only invite their fan bases out, but also giving the politicians incentive to come out to speak to those fan bases who they normally wouldn't get to have an audience with in any other type setting. I mean, It can't happen. It's not necessarily going to happen at a city council meeting. A lot of people can't necessarily even make it there 1:00 in the afternoon on a Monday. So, a Saturday evening setting, each candidate might have had a couple of drinks in them or whatever. They may give you a realer answer than you're going to get at any formal meeting.
Absolutely. True, Sarah. I've seen what it's grown into now, but I know that from my own experience with putting events together, sometimes they don't always start off that way. So tell us a little bit about the challenges that you maybe had to overcome to get it to turn into the success that it is today.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it took, more than 10 years before I even really started reaching out to candidates. Before then, just because I had friendships with people that were political, and a candidate or two had heard about it and may have came to just stop through, but I wasn't aggressively seeking candidates up until this election cycle. It's just been a process, and I thought that in the beginning, 10 years ago, I thought if I'm offering artists money, I'll bring you a place to perform and it's free for you to come in, then there should be artists beating the door down.
Right.
People beating it down, to come. But I quickly learned that was not the case. And so, you have to get out there. You gotta get reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to people's shows. You gotta buy their CDs, listen to their music. You gotta build. I had to build a name, just for me, myself, personally, just for people to recognize who I was even before I could comfortably go and invite somebody that may be the mayor, because that may be your only chance. They're gonna come and smile, but if they come and there's you and two other people there, then that may have just been your shot right there, So basically, I wanted to ensure that, for every show, no matter, which time frame it was happening in, that there was going to be an audience there for the politicians to want to come back and see again.
Yeah, we definitely understand that. We're in the building process ourselves here at SolSpot. So we know there's just a level of, trustworthiness, we think is reliability.
Yeah.
I think it's just putting yourself out there and building and being a part of the collective. Mm-hmm. It feels like exactly what was experienced with Feed a Starving Artist. You have to build the collective. Mm-hmm. You got to establish yourself, your brand, and really go out and support other people. And then supporting other people, they support you. And so it's kind of it's almost fortitude,
Yeah. Just hand in hand. I think, we were talking about this our last show about how, a lot of times people like to network up, but there's so many people that have, different variations of dreams that if we connect and build together, it really almost makes it 3 times as powerful.
Exactly.
It does. And, interestingly enough, just talking about as far as the start and everything, like in the beginning, I had like the networking relationships with people that owned the brick and mortars, and I had like a lot of high networking handshakes to make, but I had no middle people, no DJs, no actually artists, no people that actually make the thing tick. You know what I'm saying? I could bounce to any place all over the city I wanted to, for somebody had owned a coffee shop or a record store or various places, but really it's the middle people that make the thing work.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what's next. What's going on with Feed a Starving Artist in February, so that our audience can get connected to you, and where can they go to find out more about Feed a Starving Artist?
Well, you can go on any social media and find us. We're at Feed a Starving Artist on the Instagram, the Facebook. The Twitter is not that active, but between Instagram and Facebook, we reach most of our audiences. What's next is, this was the municipal election, so next is the state elections for the state of Georgia next year. We'll be electing senators, state representatives, and a new governor. And it'll be another exciting race, just like this mayor's race. There's no incumbent, so it's going to be a free-for-all. So there's going to be candidates galore running, everybody wanting to shake a hand, kiss a baby, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, right? Pander the audience, yeah. And I think I would think it's worth saying, since we have a national audience, that this is an Atlanta-based event. So I know you also have T-shirts for sale that say "Make Atlanta Great Again" that are available.
How can we get the T-shirts? Where are T-shirts available, Mark?
You can get a T-shirt from either of the social media places, and we mail them out. $20 a piece, $25 if they have to be mailed, and we don't, meet if you're not in the city. And they go to a great cause. Go to my nonprofit, Help and Empower Youth, where we teach kids STEM programming in Atlanta public schools.
Oh yeah.
So,
and we're definitely gonna bring you and Casey back to talk a little bit more about that one. That's beautiful. Hayes is a beautiful organization. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have you guys back to talk about that piece. Well, Marc, thank you so much for joining us today. We are so happy for your success and very happy for what you're doing for the community. And we want you to know that we here at SolSpot Collective fully encourage and support your dreams and your creative aspirations, and are here to network with you anytime.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ladies. And I'm here anytime you guys need an interview.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the SolSpot Collective, hosted by Urban Muse and Lara Bell. Follow the SolSpot Collective on Instagram at SolSpot Collective. That's SOL Spot Collective. And on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, search SolSpot Collective. That's SOL Spot Collective. SolSpot, SolSpot, SolSpot.